If I'm not right, how can I expect my business to be right? So my business is a reflection of me.
Duayne, we talk a lot about working on the business versus in the business and how important it is for builders to actually, as business owners, think about how they're going to factor in time for working on the business. What do you actually say to builders? Because I imagine you get lots of questions when they see you talking about how you run your business. What do you say to builders when they ask you how many hours do you work on the business a week?
Look, these days I don't work on the business, I work on myself. I tried working on the business for a long time, but the thing was, if I wasn't right, then how could I make things right in my business?
It's so true, isn't it? You forget that as a business owner running your own business, what's going on in your head, your ability to learn, create change, come up with ideas, think about what you're going to take action on. All of that actually fundamentally impacts what you're choosing to spend your time on, what your next, thing you're going to start to explore in your business. And so if you're not actually working on yourself, how can you expect to help improve your ability to do any of those things?
And it's one of those things, again, coming from a tradie background, it's really hard to get your head around. Like a builder, for a start, we're a business, so we need to get your mindset in you're actually a business, but we wear so many hats. Like we are accountants, project managers, we like designers, schedulers, estimators, like you name it.
Sometimes marriage counsellors.
I was going to say that. And look, there's so much going on, and for me, I just kept getting nowhere with the business stuff because I think mentally I just didn't have the capacity to know what I should have been focusing on, and that didn't become clear until I really started to really put time into myself. And it doesn't have to be difficult. Like I get coaching. I've done lots of coaching programs now. I've had a few mentors over the years, but for me, I don't waste a minute now. Like a lot of my learning comes from Audible books. So when I'm in the truck, there's never any radio on. It's either Audible books or Spotify, and I've learned a lot from that, and through that I've been able to focus on particular areas of my business, and I've really seen the improvements that it's been able to make.
Yeah, I think that actually being a business owner can be one of the biggest personal growth exercises available to you. Yeah. I think also being a parent can as well. That certainly gives you some personal growth, but being a business owner definitely does. If you're willing to embrace it and embrace the idea of personal growth, developing your mindset, embracing what you need to learn to improve yourself, you can really, really upskill yourself and grow that, mindset. You're incredibly amazing at how open-minded you are and how you really do.
Now. It hasn't always been that way.
So it's really interesting to see how if you just flip that mindset of I'm not working on my business, I'm actually working on myself so that I can be working on my business far better.
Yeah, and like I just got to a point where I started to realise, like when I was putting time into myself, I started seeing all these little incremental things happening in my business, and it's created a real passion for me now that I'm really addicted to. But I think the thing to take away from this video is that if I'm not right, how can I expect my business to be right? So my business is a reflection of me. Yeah,
most definitely. You'll have to excuse Duayne's dog Walter in the background, who wants to also pipe up about how important it is to work on yourself. So, yeah, I think if you can think about that, instead of working on your business, you're working on yourself, and what can you do to really improve your ability and your capacity to be a better business owner through the work that you do on your mindset, your personal health and well-being. You'll be in a much better position to make better decisions, think differently about what's going to be a great opportunity for you, what you need to get rid of, and how you really need to improve your business overall.
Definitely.